years, in what way life took a turn as far as you are concerned? Because an actress is always an actress. And Ata, when you started doing this serial, after doing, I think, if I am not mistaken, a reality show in Marathi you did in Madhe.
Just one episode for a friend, yeah.
So in what way it prepared you for a career as an actress on television? Learning experience hota?
See, like you said, an actor is an actor. Me coming back to India, I've actually moved back. I was overseas and I moved back about 3 years ago. There was no conscious effort to come back to acting, to be honest. When I was living abroad, like you all know, we don't have the privileges of having someone to cook, clean, and iron for you. So I have done all that myself for all the successful years that I have been a mother, a wife, and you know, taken care of my home. After moving back to India, I realized that, my God, this is like a privilege to have someone. As me, tumcha samor ahe, because there is somebody there behind looking after my home, and she's doing a brilliant job. Third, when I got to hear the script, it is something that touched me instantly, because I know how difficult it is to leave your child. When you can't leave your child, you don't have a life. You can't leave your child with somebody you don't know. So you're all the time in the house making sure that everything is done time to time. But when you come back to India, there are these people who make a difference and make your life so much easier. So when this script actually came to me, Jyoti, it touched me, because somewhere down the line, I have been through this whole phase. And I believe, and I even teach my daughter, keys are, if you ask for water and the water comes to the table, you're supposed to look up and say thank you. Because a thank you or a sorry doesn't make you any small or big. It is just niceness and kindness that you spread, which brings that one smile on that person's face who has done that job for you. So me taking up the role of Kamlabai is nothing but a way to say thank you to all these women who have made a difference to our upbringing and our lives, and made our lives much simpler.
And how tough was it for you to get into the character of the role? Because did you observe any particular person in real life, or just went by imagination?
I'm not boasting, I'm not trying to sell myself here, but I do believe a lot of things Kamlabai believes. I believe that everybody has the right to dream. I believe that you have to work hard to make your dreams come true. And I believe that if you can't stop thinking because you don't have the privileges today or the means to stop dreaming. I believe that if you dream of certain things, yes, you work hard today because your tomorrow will be better. And I have always maintained that in my life, where I used to always tell my husband that, 5 years later we'll have a big smile on our face and say, God, we went through that. I believe in it. I believe that you have to be a nice person to give away the niceness.
Thank you, Shilpa. One question to Ashish. Ashish, welcome for your comeback on television after a long time. And without divulging exact role that you're going to play, can you give us some kind of a hint about what exactly you're going to do?
I'm very nervous now. I don't know what you're going to tell me. In the storyline, when I come in, and I come in a little later, I think that's all I can give. Is that okay? So, very nervous. So I come in a little later, lekin incidentally, advertising as a profession has always been around me. बचपन से dad की एक advertising agency हुआ करती थी, जो बंद हो गई थी कुछ साल पहले, as you must be knowing, which is in the papers. तो फिर जाकर आया, again, I've been into business last couple of years, that's why I've not been around. So I have involved myself into yet another advertising agency called Curry Nation, जो काफी ठीक ठाक कर रही है. अब जाकर इसमें also I play an advertising agency owner, so I'm already into character. और yeah, so he's actually quite a classy guy, very suave, callous. इतना ही बोलूं? And yeah, मतलब he somewhat comes as a mentor to the two girls of Shilpa's. मैं बहुत nervous हूँ, क्या बोलूँ क्या नहीं बोलूँ, लेकिन I play a very good role, हाँ.
He's our bridge between the haves and the have-nots, you know. He's a man who's seen it hard and yet has, you know, a lot of respect, but he's such a go-getter that he believes, you know, that he must encourage anybody who he sees any fire in. So he's a very interesting character of a mentor in the show. More than this, I can't say.
Can you tell us, Diya, about the other actors in the serial? The guy who plays husband to...
Yeah, his name is Mohit Daga. He's shooting today, so he couldn't be here. But, you know, he's worked with DJs before. But the character of Vitthal, who's Kamla's husband, you know, will become sort of a role model for all men, I think. Because as much as Kamla believes in equality, who allows you that equality? You know, the man in the house. So when a woman is allowed to say her mind, allowed to have a debate, discussion, conversation, you know, who does that? A husband does that, you know. He respects it. He might be angry sometimes, but then he comes around. You know, it's the most amazing husband and wife relationship, you know. I think that I have, you know, tried to portray, we all have tried to portray, and that we've tried to write. And I haven't seen this because we all have been used to seeing in the lower strata that, you know, husbands either beat their wives or they drink and, you know, they may be good for nothing. But, you know, a lot of times television perpetuates those kind of stereotypes. But here is a man who dreams as much as she dreams, who holds her hand, who wants to romance his wife, hire a taxi and take her for a drive to Marine Drive, you know, who wants to tell the Saabs that, listen, my wife will do this much and no more. So he tries to uphold all the dignity that she tries to live with, and he supports her in every way. So that is his character. He plays a very important role. Then, of course, it's the haves, you know. So we have two worlds. One is this world of the chawl, and one is the, like we said, the people who live up on the high rises, you know, the top floor people. So we have, you know, a family and a few other families that live there, and how they are so dependent on this universe and this world. So, you know, a lot of shows show the poor as, you know, in need. But here is a show that shows that you might have a lot of money, but you still need your help. You need to be good to them. You need to respect them. You need to treat them well.
हेलो, मेरा सवाल दिया जी से है।
जी नमस्कार।
नमस्ते। आपने अपने सीरियलों के जरिए एक आम लड़की को हमेशा खास बनाने की कोशिश की है।
जी।
तो ये इमोशनल अटैचमेंट कोई खास वजह से?
आप मेरे बारे में तो अच्छी बातें बोल दीजिए, बस और क्या चाहिए। एक्चुअली यू नो, हर सीरियल कहीं ना कहीं जिंदगी से ही निकलता है, यू नो, एंड द आइडिया इज कि you know, you have to talk about, you know, whether it's the ugly girl, you know, the really religious girl, or you know, the woman who's fighting for equality and striving for it. It's very, very important मेरे लिए, टोनी के लिए, DJs के लिए कि कुछ कहने की ज़रूरत है. Entertainment के अलावा आपको एक step beyond जाना चाहिए. And सिर्फ वो ही एक मुद्दा है that drives us. हर शो में हम सोचते हैं ठीक है, love story भी होगी, entertainment भी होगा, but उसके अलावा क्या? You know, and I have to say that in the last 6-8 months, I've gone through a bit of a hard time because my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And I cannot tell you the few people who stood by me, you know, one of them actually Shilpa helped me get. She's the girl who looks after my mother. Like she said,